Hello everyone, I'm Poveda and study international business at Sena. Today I'm gonna explain the steps you need or I need to have in mind when I have to export from Colombia to the foreign countries. These are the steps. First one. First of all, I'm gonna read the introduction, then explains what this means. So basically, exporting means a great step to economic growth for any company. However, it's a problem not handling English very well in the process. It can create multiple barriers between exporters and buyers. So it's very important to have a good command of this language in order to support the process effectively and create a good communication between the clients. This is very important. So now, we can explain step by step the steps to know when, for my case, I want to export textile products. So I have in mind the first one is the company creation. It is advisable, thought not mandatory, that you establish yourself as a company legitimate to export activity of Colombian goods. That's basically the first step. The second step is to register as an exporter to the Directorate of National Taxes of Customs (DIAN) in accordance with the current legal provisions. Any company or individual that goes to the answers must obtain a unique record. So basically, this indicates that tax route that enables it before to the DIAN. In addition, you will be required to operate under the common regime, so you will be assigned a range of billing codes. This document can be found in the offices to the DIAN or supercates of Bogota via www.dian.gov.co. You can find him there. Next is developmental strategies, like selection of markets. If you want to know about the potential of your product in the international market, it's advisable to do research on the characteristics of the external market, such as country demand, basic economic indicators like prices, exchange rate, inflation, imports, exports, commercial customs, competition, access conditions, international negotiation terms like Incoterms, international physical distribution, current commercial agreements, and trends and tastes. All this in order to minimize the risks and make decisions with certainty regarding potential buyers. That's basically the selection of markets. Fourth step is the registration for determination of origin and certificate of origin. The exceptions of tariff reductions granted in negotiations of free trade agreements require the issuance of origin certification to enjoy these preferences. The development of this procedure requires to fill out a declaration in advance of determination of origin. Also, once the sworn statement has been made, it will be proceeded to request the respective certificate of origin, a document required by the customs office of the country of destination to accredit the tariff exceptions. The processing of the certificates of origin is in two forms. First one is self-qualification. This proceeds through the www.dian.gov.com for the commercial agreement in force with Latin America and the European Union. The second one is self-certification. They can be used directly by the carrier according to the form attached to the commercial agreement signed with the United States, Canada, and North Triangle. Is it important to note that The technological requirements indicated by the DIAN to carry out the process in a verified way in its computer equipment. Additionally, you must be registered in Muscat de la DIAN and have a digital signature. The first step is the determination of tariff classification. The tariff classification is a system of classification of goods whose first 6 digits are called tariff, adds other digits in general in general. Tariffs in general detail taxes of custom that are charged on goods that enter a country. They also include some conditions of access to markets and the preferences granted in the free trade agreement. In the case of exports, in order to know the tax that will be charged, it is necessary to review the tariff of the importing country. The tariff levy in force abroad influences the final export price. The sixth one is the request for good use. Compliance with these requirements has to do fundamentally with the protection of human and animal health, as it certifies the safety and healthiness of the products for use or consumption by humans and animals. The seventh one is the terms of international negotiation, such like income terms. Prior to the customs procedure, it is necessary to conclude an international sales contract that specifies the terms and conditions for both the seller and the buyer. This contract will include one of the international negotiation standards, such as income terms, which stipulate costs and risks involved in the physical distribution of the merchandise for the importer and the exporter. Income terms 2010. According to the International Chamber of Commerce, are 2 types. Model like EXW, FCA, CPT, CAP, DA, and DAP, and DDP. Maritime, such as FAS, FOB, CFR, and CAF. The eighth one is the customs procedure of export of goods. Once the merchandise for dispatch is ready, steps to follow are: first, the exporter of his customs agent manages the request for authorization of ship SAA before the customs section, direction of a port or a port where the merchandise is located. 2. The shipment authorization request is valid for 1 month, during which time the goods will be transported and barred into the primary zone. The third one, the customs clearance will be processed the computer system of the DIAN throws 3 options. The first option is the physical capacity, just like physical revision of the merchandise. The second one is the commentary gauging, like the command review, and the automatic gauging, it's like the computer system gives the number of the export declaration. According to what was declared and contained in the export supporting document, the customs authorizes the shipment. All these procedures have been completed. Once all these procedures have been completed, the exporter of the declarant customs agency will sign and submit the export declaration generated electronically. And the next step is to have the exportation documents, such as commercial invoice document of transportation, like the bill of lading, airway bill, or letter of carriage, the packing list, a goods side, if it's the case, certificate of origin, if it's required, and finally, the export declaration. And finally, the final step you have in mind when you want to export is the reimbursement of foreign currency. It's necessary to previously agree with your counterpart abroad on the means of payment to be used, either direct euro or one that uses risk coverage, such as letters of credit, or standby guarantees. Now with channel payments through authorized financial intermediaries. Once the foreign currencies from the export are channeled through an exchange intermediary like a commercial bank, you must fill out the form number 2, Declaration of Change for Exportation of Goods, External Resolution 8 of 2000. The 2000s, to legalize the income of the currency to Colombia and before the Bank of the Republic. So that's basically all the steps you need to know when you want to export a product of any kind. So thank you for listening to this audio, and thanks and goodbye.